thanks for tuning in to another edition of Live and Lead. And I want to ask you a question today. Do you think it's possible to do everything right in your life and have nothing go wrong? Now, you obviously know the answer to that question through your personal experience. No matter what we do right, eventually something's going to go wrong. I remember I was walking through a difficult time in my life, and a friend told me to go to my Bible and try to find one person who was greatly used of God to transform the world, to change lives, to do something significant for God. And try to find a person that God used in the Bible who didn't suffer. Well, everyone in the Bible who God greatly used suffer. Suffering is a part of life. In fact, people were asked in a recent survey who walked through difficult circumstances, if they were given the opportunity to go through it, would they do it again? Now, for sure, they said, I don't think I'd sign up to go through the suffering, but I wouldn't change the suffering, because it was in the suffering that I truly met God and I saw how faithful He was. You know, we can do everything right and still things can go wrong. I was thinking about a night that I locked up the house, let the dog out, put everything away, made sure all the doors were locked, the windows were closed, and I went to bed. I slept securely, thinking that everything was fine. I woke up in the morning and I went to my garage and the garage door was open. You know, that false sense of security that I did everything right, but there was still one thing that I missed. You know, the Bible says, as Paul wrote to Timothy in 1 Timothy chapter 1, verses 17, he said, "Do not be haughty and set your hopes on the uncertainty of riches, but set your hopes in God who provides everything for us to enjoy." You know, we can't secure our future. Jesus told a parable of a man who built barns because his crops were so plentiful to store all of his goods. And Jesus said, "You fool, this very night your life will be required of you. You thought you could do everything right, but you missed the most important thing, and that is putting your hopes in me." So you might be walking through a difficult time. You might be walking through a trial. You might be doing everything right, and still things may be going wrong. Don't confuse God's silence with His absence. God is still very much with you. He's still very much at work in your life. And it's through the difficult times, it's through the difficult seasons, even when we do everything right, that we truly know that God is who He says He is, and He's still faithful. So the next time you're reminded in your life of your difficulties, your weaknesses, your failures, through things going wrong in your life, just remember there's not one person who God ever used greatly to do His work, to make a difference for Him, who didn't walk through trials and walk through suffering.